Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Suggestions that companies will have to pay VAT up front on EU goods after Brexit are causing concern in Parliament and beyond. The chair of the Treasury Select Committee, Nicky Morgan, has told Sky News she is writing urgently to HM Revenue and Customs about the arrangements, which could cause a cash flow problem for businesses. Well, our chief political correspondent, John Craig, has more on this now from Westminster.
MPs return to Westminster on Monday, and about the first thing they're going to be debating is a bill called the Taxation Cross-Border Trade Bill. Now, according to pro-Remain MPs, this is bad news for importers from the EU. They are claiming that under this bill, companies that import, probably up to about 130,000 firms, be forced to pay VAT up front on imports from the EU. Now, one MP who plans to table amendments to this bill is Chris Leslie, the former Labour Shadow Chancellor. He's told the Observer newspaper, if firms have to start paying VAT up front at border entry points, this could upend decades of normal business practices. And, he says, add millions of pounds in bureaucratic costs that won't just hit profit margins, but will likely be passed on to customers via higher prices. Now, Brexiteers will say this is all typical scaremongering from the Remainers, Project Fear and so on, and not borne out by the facts. And the Chancellor, pro-Remain Chancellor, Philip Hammond, has disagreed as well. He's told the Observer, Britain is a great trading nation and innovative UK businesses are central to the success of our economy. He says this bill represents the first step in setting up an independent UK customs regime and reaffirms our commitment to deliver a smooth transition for businesses as we leave the EU. Well, while all this is going on in the House of Commons as MPs debate that bill, on the same day the Prime Minister is expected to carry out her cabinet reshuffle made necessary by the resignation of Damien Green, the First Secretary of State, just before Christmas. Will she appoint like for like another First Secretary of State? Jeremy Hunt's name's been mentioned. It's expected the top four in the Cabinet, Mr Hammond, Amber Rudd, Boris Johnson and David Davis, will stay where they are. But there's likely to be other Cabinet changes, perhaps up to half a dozen, it's being suggested. Justine Grieving is being tipped for a move from education, partly because of her opposition to grammar schools. It's thought that the PM will do the Cabinet on Monday, and then on Tuesday, bring in some fresh talent, some new blood, some younger MPs into the lower ranks, the junior ranks, which supporters of the PM say she must do to try and make the government a bit fresher and appeal to younger voters who, of course, deserted the Tories in the general election.